Back at you with another one, and thank you for joining me on this blessed Friday, and I hope you're all looking forward to the weekend ahead, unless of course you are here in the UK and we've got another lockdown to look forward to. But hopefully this video here will at least provide some sort of entertainment during your day. Well, I'm hoping so anyway. But anyways, in terms of today's video, about 2 months ago I put out a video why Kieran Tierney should be captain, and the video has gone really well since, and appreciate all the sort of support on that. Thank you guys. And one of the comments I got on that video was, what would you do with Aubameyang? And I thought, you know what, that's a great video idea. So thank you so much, Matt Evans, for requesting that. So here's your video. And I thought, let's start off with the best place possible. This scene here. So in the summer when Aubameyang finally signed the thing, yeah? And let's be honest, we all wanted him to. Why not? After all, he was in fine form. He practically single-handedly won us the FA Cup. So why not? Since then, a lot has changed. But I'm not one of these guys that will come out and slay Aubameyang. You see in my videos, yes, I criticize him, but I don't go into him like I do with Granit Xhaka, like I do with Bellerina, etc. And that's because the amount of times he has saved us. You know that whole cliche saying that Arsenal fans say over and over again, even non-Arsenal fans, where would Arsenal be without Aubameyang's goal? And prior to the last 3 games, it was relegation form. But since then, things have changed, our style has changed. So does Aubameyang fit in the system? Let's debate on that. But I thought I would sort of take you to something that's quite critical in this whole situation. I want to sort of bring this up, where Aubameyang sets Arsenal record with 50th Premier League goal. So Aubameyang was set a record where he was the fastest in terms of achieving the 50th goal, beating that to Thierry Henry. And you can understand why he wanted to sort of stay on, because he had it in his head that he could go on and achieve legendary status. As in, look at that stat there. When you're sort of looking at this list and you're seeing the names, let me just zoom this in so you guys can clearly see. You got guys like Andy Cole, United legend, Alan Shearer. Do I need to say anything more? Alan Shearer, top Premier League goal scorer in history. Ruud van Nistelrooy, Fernando Torres, Mohamed Salah. He's in a list with legends, and that's all you need to know. Well, I know Salah's still playing, but let's be honest, he's world class as well. So why have I brought this up? Because yes, I know he's been in bad form, his body language not the greatest, but I want to remind you all, why is it we all wanted Aubameyang to sign a contract? Why is it, we all rated Aubameyang highly? Why is Aubameyang's name and shirt the highest selling in the Arsenal store? There's a reason for it, yeah? After so long, we wanted a hungry, prolific striker. And let's be honest, we haven't had that since Thierry Henry. Some of you out there, just relax. I know what you're going to say, Robbie Van Persie. But Van Persie was plagued with injury during his entire Arsenal career, with the exception of that season and a half. And then what happened? He had that brilliant season and then fucked off to United. So can we really say, anyone has been consistent long enough like Aubameyang has? Maybe you're kind of, if you're really stretching for it, you might say Theo, but different positions. No one has been that consistent and prolific since Thierry Henry, and the stats show that. Yeah, you might say, oh yes, just what has he done since then? Now, I thought, you know what? Let me bring this up. So, if we sort of look here, you've got on this column here the total appearances and goals across all competitions. So, if we look at his Arsenal career, let's scroll down so you don't see my face. Or my face is not blocking it. So he joined us in January 2018. So he only managed 14 appearances and he got himself 10 goals. 10 goals. That's pretty impressive, yeah, for your debut or half debut season. Following season, 51 appearances, 31 goals. The season after that, 44 appearances, 29 goals. And this season, 17 appearances, managing 5 goals. And you're probably thinking, 5? I only can recall 3. Yeah, I did that as well in the Premier League. But what it is, they've counted his Community Shield goal as well as the Europa League. So he does have 5, if you're going to really be pedantic about it. And so we can sit here and we can sort of say Aubameyang is not the player that we thought he would be. Is it a case where he's caught the Mesut Ozil symptom once he signed a contract? Performances sort of flatten as well. I don't think it's that. I think, yes, we managed the situation very poor. Why did we wait for him to go to run his contract down to the last season? It's something we keep doing often, too often. And almost about a year or two ago, I remember Raul Sinelli and Vinay saying that going forward, they will not allow a player to run their contract down. If they haven't signed an extension and they've got 2 years remaining, it's off. So can you please explain why has that never been put into action? Because not only did that situation occur for Aubameyang, situation also occurred for Bukayo Saka. Remember when there was all that talk that he might be going to Liverpool, where we were anxiously waiting for him to sign, and then he finally signed, and then that's it. We were all gassed by it. Why are we even allowing that situation to happen to the academy players? We're seeing it right now with Florian Balogun as well. Likewise, Alexander Lacazette. Why was it in the summer? Why didn't we say Laka, here it is, either sign the contract here, what we're putting in front of you, or otherwise we have this offer from Juventus, whatever, and you're gonna go. Choose, sign a contract or fuck off. Choose a contract to Juventus. Simple. We then did the same thing with Aubameyang, therefore giving player all the power. Do we not learn from this? We've done the same situation with Mesut Ozil, and that's why he's on 350k a week. And for me, another bad bit of management on that situation was that I understand why Arteta was playing Aubameyang. He liked that transition out on the left, and hence why we were playing predominantly everything over towards the left hand side. And I and many Arsenal fans have pointed out, saying that we offer nothing going forward on the right hand side, and everything is going from the left hand side. So since then, teams have found us out, and I can remember the game against Man City when Pep put Kyle Walker on that side to nullify Aubameyang out of the game, and since then we've been found out and it's been ineffective. And then it's become a situation where Auba's felt frustrated. We've then had to shore up things defensively because we weren't scoring the goals ahead, and it's just caused a major sort of mishap or mismanagement between the way Arteta wants to play and the way Aubameyang plays. Aubameyang usually likes to sort of run off the shoulders of the last defender, but we don't play to that style. So when we sort of see, in particular, like the second goal against West Brom, with the likes of Saka, Smith Rowe and Laka, it seems like now we like to play with a striker that likes to sort of run down at defenders and try win back possession high up on the pitch. We also want a striker that has great strength and interplay with other members of the team. So does Aubameyang possess any of these skills? No. So why is he here? That's the way I look at it. If Aubameyang doesn't suit your system, if you already have a system in mind, then why would you get him to sign a contract? It's like, just hear me out, yeah? This is the way I look at it. If Arteta came in, Aubameyang, and then this is the way I see things. Arteta's come in, Auba's been scoring the goals, he's been his saviour, and he thought, yeah, let me sign this guy on. But did Arteta, maybe he did, maybe he didn't, did Arteta sit there sit down and think to himself, going forward, this is the style of football I like to play. I need a striker that can hold off defenders, that can have decent interlink play with the midfielders and bring players into the game. And maybe that's why we have been linked with Edouard from Celtic, because he's that type of profile of a striker. And if that's the situation, then why did we offer Aubameyang a massive lucrative contract at the age he's in? Maybe Arteta did sort of plan and think, you know what, this is the type of striker I need. But then because of Aubameyang's fine goal scoring form, he thought, you know what, we need him regardless. Even though he might not fit in the style of play I want going forward, but he's very prolific in front of goal and he will get us the goals. Maybe that's what he thought. But then the issue with that is, and the danger with that is that as soon as you get found out, like it has been with Aubameyang, it has been with the Aubameyang situation, then you're left with a striker that's been found out, and every team is going to play against that, and then he's ineffective really. And now you've got an ineffective striker who's on God knows how much. The way I would sort of resolve this, if I'm honest with you, is he was linked with Barca. He was linked with a few clubs. And if they're still interested and he can't adapt to the style of play, which I'm not going to blame this all on Arteta, because I think Aubameyang himself hasn't really done himself any much favour either. It's like, for example, this is the way I'm going to put it to you. Yeah? You look at Cristiano Ronaldo. He's lost his legs, but he's managed to change the type of profile he is as a player. Yeah, he no longer runs and tries dribble past guys, but he makes those last minute runs to get on the end of the ball and get that goal in. You know, you look at Wayne Rooney later on in his sort of career. Yeah, he started playing deeper in midfield and he had to change himself. Is Aubameyang doing that? Not really. Is maybe him playing out on that left wing side, has that affected his game? Because let's be real, the more running you're doing, the more strain you're going to put on yourself and your body, and then you're more prone to injuries, etc. And you won't have that leg, you won't be as efficient. Is him playing on the left and having to do those defensive work, is that sort of hampering his play of football in his sort of later stages of his career? Maybe him playing out there on the left wing, would that do more damage to him by him having to run back? Should we really have a 30-something-year-old striker having to do defensive work on the wing, running up and down? Because do you see Lewandowski do it? Do you see Cristiano do it? No. So maybe we need to strategize how best to select Aubameyang. We have put him on a massive contract, and until there is sort of demand for him, I just don't see us getting rid of him. And now that we've put him on this massive salary, are other teams quite frankly going to match that? Especially with the whole COVID situation we've got going on, and teams are losing a lot of money. For example, including us, we've had to go out and get a loan from the Bank of England. And you've seen reports of Arsenal getting £120 million loan agreed. So are other clubs not in the same situation? And we are an established massive club in the Premier League. So can we really afford to try lose him? Is any club out there wanting Aubameyang? I don't think so. So we need to strategize. What can we do with Aubameyang? And he needs to understand that he needs to change his game for the way we want to play. It can't just be a situation where we had it in the past, where everything was lobbed to the left-hand side and we were very left-hand centric, and that's where all the goals are going through. So if you look at the Community Shield, where Saka pinged that ball over across and Aubameyang slots the ball through, can't remember the Liverpool's keeper again. It's not Alisson, it's their second string keeper. Likewise, same situation, opening game against Fulham. Willian, he gets the ball, puts it across to the left hand side. Aubameyang cuts through, again, goes through the right hand corner again. And we can't continuously play like that. As I said, teams have found us out. So what do we need to do? What does Aubameyang need to do? In terms of captaincy, I would also, if I'm Arteta, I would also bring conversations up about stripping up the captaincy. He is not showing any leadership skills whatsoever. The least he could do, if you can't be asked to play or try be bothered, at least look bothered, mate, and then at least try and instruct your players. But he just seems deflated. And for me, if Aubameyang is going to stay, he needs to be hungry, yeah, and he needs to want to stay. If he has his heart set elsewhere, and for whatever reason, let's say the situation has gone too far that he just can't be asked with playing Arsenal, and that's understandable when you're in his age and you're just thinking about, you know what, I just won a title, why did I sign an extension here? Fair play, cool. Then mate, leave, yeah? Give that captaincy to Kieran Tierney and leave in peace. But if you want to stay here and you want to commit, then you, Aubameyang, yeah, the onus is on you to change your style of play so you can help the team out and you can help the manager and his vision and what he wants to say. Yes, I know, I am for once, yeah, siding more closer with Arteta on this than Auba, because Arteta can only do what he, what he can do. The one thing I blame Arteta is continue on to select Aubameyang. They seriously need to have a get together, address the situation out, understand, do you want to stay here? If you do, I'll be honest with you, you haven't been performing like a captain for quite a while. You've been very deflated. Your body language looking very nonchalant every time I see you on the pitch. Yeah, so you need to change up, fix up. Apologies, but we're gonna have to take that captaincy off you because you're not captain material. That was a mistake, giving you the captaincy in the first place. And failed to comply with any of these, then it's best if we say, goodbyes. And that's without any hard feelings. As I said, I admire Aubameyang. I think he's been a great servant in the little time he's been here at Arsenal. And it's just a shame, had we had him a lot earlier on in his career, I think he could have easily been a legend at his club. But for the way we're trying to play, for the way we're trying to progress as a club, it seems like he's been left behind and he's just quite content with it. If he was serious, if he was hungry, he would get up and he would motivate himself, drive himself and say, that's it, I'm going to play for the team. So honestly speaking, the decision is with Arteta and Aubameyang. But if I had it my way, as I mentioned, I would provide him those clauses. And failure to comply with anyone, I would say, Aubameyang, you know what, mate? In the summer, adios. And you might be thinking, but then who would I sort of give that playing game time to? If I was Arteta right now, I'd be playing Balogun ahead of him. You might think, whoa, he's just young. But why not? Why not? That might actually wake up and spur on Aubameyang. Excuse the pun, I should not be using that word spur. It might motivate Aubameyang if we do play Balogun instead. Do you know what I mean? So, and speaking of Balogun, that moves us nicely onto our next segment. There was this interesting story out by David Ornstein yesterday, saying that Florian Balogun is close to signing a pre-contract agreement with a foreign club. Arsenal want him to stay, but no real progress in deal talks and little game time. No problem with his reps in past, because they do have the same agent as Iwobi, Nelson, Saka, and I believe Eddie Nketiah has the same agent as Balogun. Later on, Fabrizio has gone on to sort of say Balogun always been open to stay at Arsenal, but he needs to play. This is priority for Florian and his agents. If he plays more, he'll be considered. If he plays more, he'll be considered a new contract. I think it's meant to say he will consider a new contract. If not, Balogun will decide among 15 clubs that approached him as free agent. 15 clubs. Now, this could all be fabrication. Could all be Balogun's agent trying to get the best deal for his client. So he's feeding the press with false rumours to get Arsenal to hurry. However, I think there's a hint of truth that he is a wanted man. We have heard stories that clubs are interested in, like Stuttgart, like Liverpool, like Southampton have been, and Brentford in the past. So he is highly admired by many clubs out there, and for me, just give him the game time. give him the game time. I'm begging you, just give him the game time. Please, please. I really do not want to see a Gnabry part 2 to the situation. And if I'm Arteta, despite giving what's his name? Sorry, Aubameyang. What's his name? Aubameyang, that lucrative contract. This kid is the future, and I'll start looking into investing more time with him and slowly phasing out time with the likes of AUBA. And if I'm honest with you, as for Lacazette, I'd sell him in the summer. You might think that's ridiculous, but we just can't have another situation of a player running down their contract. So, as I said, with like what I mentioned about Aubameyang, come summer, I would tell Laka, listen, sign this or go. But if I had it my way, just go. Just, you know, cut our losses. He's not been good enough, not consistent enough. And I just think it's time to try Balogun. And as I said, have maybe Aubameyang leading as a front row. And if AUBA doesn't want to comply with those lists or demands I have, then we bring in someone like an Edward and have a Balogun just sort of behind him. In terms of other news here, we've got some interesting quotes by Saliba, who's had a press conference today with Nice. So let me just make this slightly bigger. Maybe not that big. Maybe not that big. Okay. So we've got William Saliba is open to extending his Nice stay for longer than 6 months. Hopefully not. According to him, and the quote is, I have signed a 6-month contract. After these 6 months, we will see what happens. But for now, I have signed for 6 months. I'm going to give my all, and then we will see. Hopefully he does come back. If he won't be a feature come next season, then honestly, stay there next season, because I'd rather him get some game time rather than rot and waste in the under 23s. So Saliba also mentioned something that was quite interesting. William Saliba, Mikel Arteta, the coach, immediately told me that I was not ready. I would have at least liked to have a chance to rediscover my rhythm, but this is football. It's like that. Yeah, that doesn't really sit well with me, especially when Arteta's come out with quotes saying that he's not played Saliba to protect him. But then if you're not going to play him, why didn't you loan him out before the season started? He arrived in July. You had plenty of time to assess him and send him out on loan. Stupid. Another interesting thing that Saliba said, which I really like, he did say, I have played in League One. Even though I am young, I'm here to be the boss. Saw that press conference where he said that he understands it's a young, inexperienced team, and even though he's 19, he wants to come in and be the boss and sort out the defense. Now, for someone so young to have that mental mindset, amazing. And hopefully that's a winning mentality, which will see him become a world-class centre-back going forward. Also, other quotes, he goes, the rhythm at professional level and under 23 level is not the same, but I wanted to play and I trained so hard at Arsenal. That's why the coach put me in directly on Wednesday. You see, again, the drive is there, and that's something we want to see. Here we go. The Nice president, JP Riviere, asked if Saliba's deal can run for 18 months, and his quotes were, let him rediscover enjoying being on the pitch, playing at the point of the 6 months. We'll see. Today he's owned by a club called Arsenal. Everyone in June will come together and decide. A door is always open in life when you have a situation where parties can talk. The doors are open. We will see. We are not there yet. Okay, so it seems like both parties are open to extending that loan for a further season. Yep, and I will leave it finally with this last quote by Get French Football. So William Saliba asked by journalists if he has seen the quotes from Mikel Arteta that says he has been loaned for his own protection, and that was the comments made in yesterday's press conference before the Newcastle United FA Cup game, and where Arteta was asked about the whole Saliba situation, and he has mentioned that he was loaned out for his protection and to get some game time. So this is Saliba's response. He smiles, and his response was, no, I have not seen that. Aside from that, I have no intention of responding to what's been said. I left because I need to play. William continues saying, I have not played for 6 months, not seen so much. Journalist, you missed the Coupe de France, which is a French Cup final against PSG in July, which Arsenal and Saint-Etienne could not come to an agreement to extend his loan out. And Saliba responds with a smirk, that too, 2020 was a hard year for me. It just seems like we've done the kid very, very dirty. We didn't let him play in the cup final, and then we didn't even give him a chance to play this season, just said he's not ready. And we wasted 6 months of his career by letting him rot in at under 23. Again, another player, bad management. Now, let's just, you know what's funny? I didn't even think of this until now. We're looking at Saliba situation, yep. And we spoke about Balogun. And before Balogun, we were looking at this guy here. What one common thing joins the three players? Bad management. Bad management. Aubameyang's contractual was managed really bad. Let him run down to a year remaining. Balogun, let him run down to 6 months remaining. Saliba comes in, no development plan was set. It's just what's going on with Arsenal. Yeah, anyways, I'm not going to continue on because all I'll just end up doing is going off on a massive tangent and just talking bare crap, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to waste your time, guys. So, please like, subscribe, and also mention, what would you do with Aubameyang? I've clearly stated what I said. Aubameyang for me will have to comply with the list of rules. He needs to change his game up, change himself up. He needs to be content with being stripped of the captaincy, and he needs to give 100%. If not, bye bye. Anyways, thank you all for listening, and please like, subscribe, and all the best. Take care, guys.